beautiful people, how we doing? And for you new people that this is your first time, thank you for coming and welcome to my channel. This is Skelly by nature. I am Skelly. And today we're going to be doing a dental treat for your dogs. This is a dental treat. It's a simple dental treat that doesn't have, it's basic stuff that you're going to have at your home and very simple to make. So let's get right down to it. So what we're going to need is we're going to need 4 cups of oats. We're going to need 1 cup of boiling water. Make sure it's boiling water too. We also need 2 tablespoons of honey. And we're going to need 2 eggs. When you take your eggs too, what I like to do when I'm doing this recipe is, when I know I'm going to be making it, crack the eggs, put them in a bowl, set them to the side, take the shells and put them off to the side. What I like to do is take the eggs, put them upside down, put them on a paper towel or something, and try to let the eggshells dry out. Because we're going to be using the eggshells as well, so we're going to need two eggshells. We also need a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, okay? And we're going to get into, and as I'm doing this too, I'm going to explain to you, when you are deciding to go pick your apple cider vinegar, you're going to want to look for a raw organic apple cider vinegar, or what it's also called a lot of times on the label, you'll see it says mother, okay? And I'll explain more about that as we're doing these, as we're making these treats. I'm going to explain to you the benefits of many of the pieces that we're going to be putting into this, like what it's good for and what to look for when you are buying this stuff. So a regular apple cider vinegar is not the best choice, so we're going to go with Mother's raw organic, and I'll show you more about that. We also need 4 milliliters of peppermint. Peppermint, you can use peppermint leaf. I'm going to be using peppermint oil today, so we can get a little more into that. But also we're going to need 1 cup of wheat flour, okay? Make sure it's wheat flour, regular flour. Your regular all-purpose flour that we tend to use for baking isn't good for your dogs. So there's other different types of flours we can use. I tend to go with all natural wheat flour. And we also need 1 tablespoon of parsley. And those are the ingredients that we're going to be using today. I will be putting the recipe down below, so that's something that if you guys didn't catch it all, don't worry about it. We'll have that done, and I'll put that down below. And so what we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven for 350 degrees. And I'm going to get the water going, the hot water. Have yourself a processor. These are the things that we're going to need as a processor. We're going to need a cutout, okay? Keep your cutout simple again, okay? This is I'm just using a 2-inch, it's a little heart shape cutout. We're going to need a roller to roll out our dough a little bit later, so have a roller. And also I like to use a cookie scraper, so I keep that ready and available, okay? So that's what we're going to start with. Those are the things that we need. We also need some trays. I got 3 trays right here. I like to have 3 ready. I usually tend to use 2, but sometimes we have to go to the 3rd one. So it depends on the size of your trays and how many you need. But 2 things with the trays is, 1, pre-coat your trays if you want. Little flour on the tray, spread it around, get it nice and coated. Or if you don't want to do it that method, you can also just line it with parchment paper, and the parchment paper will help you there. So that's our basics, okay? So that's everything we need. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the 4 cups of oats. What we're going to put in, 4 cups of oats into our blender or processor, okay? And we're going to add all of the dry ingredients, okay? So I'm going to do the oats. Now, like I said, I take my eggshells, put them off to the side. Anytime I make eggs, I take the eggshells, put them off to the side. I love adding eggshells into my dog's diet. Eggshells are very good for your dog, and I crush mine up, so I got mine crushed up. The lovely pestle and mortar that my brother-in-law made me. Thank you, Mike. So we're going to add add the eggshells right in and clean it right up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw in our whole wheat. And I'm going to throw in the parsley. Okay, so we're throwing in all our dry ingredients, okay, and letting those sit. And so now what we're going to do is, now one thing I like to do is just mix it all right up, okay, and give it a good mix. Okay, so I did that for about 15 seconds. You don't need a whole lot. Doesn't take much. It's only dry ingredients. We're going to now add in the rest of the ingredients that we need, okay? So we need 2 tablespoons of honey. I got some beautiful homemade honey from my sister. Thank you, Jennifer. She makes her own honey in her place, so I don't usually measure out honey. A couple tablespoons is all you need. A little extra honey isn't going to ever hurt. So we should be good on that. So we're going to throw some honey. Her honey is a little on the thick side, so that's a little more than 2 tablespoons, but that's okay. It's good for them. So we're going to throw in the honey. We're going to throw in the 2 eggs. I got some 2 eggs here. Okay, and so we got the vinegar. Now, with vinegar, be a little cautious of vinegar. Vinegar is good for our dogs. Not all dogs are used to it, so if you want, start off a little on with a little bit, but don't go putting too much vinegar in. So this is actually something that I do measure out. A lot of the stuff that's good and I don't measure out, but this is one that I do measure out, because if a dog has a sensitive stomach or anything like that, it can bother them. So I'm going to measure out that. That's probably the one ingredient that I actually do measure out. And then last is my peppermint oil. So I'm using Nature's Strong peppermint oil. Okay, this is an oil that I make. I grow peppermint hydroponically. And you'll see other videos with that one day. So I'm going to use 4 milliliters of my peppermint. If you have a hard time finding peppermint oil, you can use peppermint leaf, like I said. Take a look around. You might have a neighbor that'll allow you to cut some peppermint leaf. If you do, you probably want to go with. You want to let it dry out and then and then break it down and break it down. And you're probably going to use, I'd say, about 2 teaspoons of peppermint dry leaf if you're going to do that. If you have a hard time finding it, feel free to throw a comment down below. I do make it. I do mail it out and sell it for people. So if it's something that you can't find, feel free, ask down below. Or if you just are interested in my peppermint oil, let me know. I'll be doing another video one day on peppermint oil. But peppermint oil is wonderful for us and for humans and dogs. So it's actually one of my favorite products. I use it all the time. It's great. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to send this through the, let this blend up again. Mix it up. So I just mixed that up for about 15 seconds real quick. Just gives it a little mix. And then what I'm going to do is now my water is ready. So I'm just going to grab my water and I'm going to put the water in. So I just gave all the moist stuff a little mixture before adding the water. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give this a real good mix and allow this to become dough. Okay? So we're going to let this go. Okay, so I just let that go for about, that was about a minute and a half. And so the next step we're going to do is we're just going to pull this out. And we're going to lay, I'm going to lay this right out on my table. So if you need to, you can use a tray and put it in your tray and roll it out on a tray and then transfer your pieces to another tray. I got myself a nice glass table here, so I'm going to lay out some flour right on the table. I got a little bowl of flour on the side that I keep here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to roll my roller in it, get my roller coated up a little bit. So now I'm going to take my spatula and just kind of scoop out the dough. I'm going to plop that dough right on my table. It's still nice and, oh, it smells so good actually. The one thing I love about this is when it smells good to you, you know it's going to be good for your dogs. They're going to love it. So now I'm going to roll this out. And we're going to roll this out to roughly about a ½ inch. So now I got my cutout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make cutouts. I'm just going to go right along my dough and I'm just going to start making cuts. So what we are going to do right now is, as you watch me do these cutouts, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the stuff that we're going to be using, okay, and what it's good for. And why some of this stuff is, you know, added. There's a lot of stuff that your dogs don't get. If you feed your dog regular dog food, you'll hear me talk about this all the time. There's a lot of stuff that's missing out of your dog's diet to give them a complete diet and to help with certain things. But there's a lot of benefits with these treats that I'm going to show you that also serve as better health for your dog and other things, as you see. So the first thing is honey, okay? I love adding honey. I use honey quite a bit, whether it's in their dog treats, whether it's in their food. It's just something, honey is really good for dogs. And it helps a lot with, you know, skin issues. If they've got itchy skin, it helps with, and the reason is because a lot of times when dogs have itchy skin, a lot of it has to do with two things: dehydration and allergies. Okay, so when you choose your honey, it's nice to, for multiple reasons, it's nice to use your local honey. There's most of you can find somebody around you that makes their own honey, and if you can, get it from them. And the reason is because I've said this before, when you get local honey, those bees are collecting pollen from things that are around you, and that's what your dog is probably allergic to. So when they ingest it, it helps with their allergies, and that helps with the skin issues, because a lot of times dogs get, especially in the springtime, they get red bellies, and that's something that usually is either dehydration or allergies. So when you use a local honey, it helps with their allergies. The other thing that honey's good for is it helps reduce pain and inflammation, you know, especially with older dogs. You know, they're old, their muscles are worn, you know, and a dog doesn't have the ability to tell you that it's sore, you know, you're not going to see it. Dogs will hide their pain. So, you know, your dog could have sore muscles and you don't notice it until it's really bad, and then you might see them limping. So I like to use it because it just helps. The other thing too with honey is it helps with the one reason why this is a good dog treat as far as a dental treat is it helps with sore throats. You know, so they tend to, if a dog's got a sore throat, it helps, okay? It helps with digestion. They tend to, the sugars in the honey, there's a lot of vitamins and minerals that are in honey, so it helps with digestion. And with the sugars, the other thing that it does is it helps curb hunger, okay? We all know our dogs can eat forever. And that's something that part of it is, you know, especially with dog food nowadays, there's nothing in it, you know, your dog food's filler. So apple cider vinegar, you want, like I said, you want to get a raw, organic, and an unfiltered, okay? Really stating is that it's an unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. And part of that is it's better for your dogs for multiple reasons. One, it's not pasteurized. And a lot of the good biotics that you can find in apple cider vinegar is in there. Once you buy apple cider vinegar in the store and it's processed and it's got pasteurized, and you lose a lot of the good biotics that are inside that. And that's what we're looking for. We want, we want to help that. That good gut health is what you're going to get from that, okay? So apple cider vinegar has many good benefits. One of the benefits that's really great is it actually, a lot of people don't know this, it actually helps against fleas and ticks, okay? You can use it actually multiple different ways. If you want to use apple cider vinegar by putting a little in their water, it's something that, what happens is the acidic part of apple cider vinegar is in their system. So when a flea or a tick gets on them and they go to bite into them, they get that acidic flavor, and they don't like that. So then they scoot off. And that's nice because I'm a person who I do natural flea and tick for my dogs. I don't care for the medicine or the pour-on or the collar, because you got to think of it this way. If whatever chemical is in that can kill a flea or a tick, it's doing minor damage to your dog. And that's just my attitude towards it. I know other people will say differently and whatever. That's my belief. I'll tell you this. I've had hundreds of dogs. Okay, I'm an animal behaviorist. I used to bring in dogs, and I'd have 7 dogs at one time and get them, rehab them and get them new homes. And I have a big backyard, and my dogs can run around in it. I very rarely ever pull a flea or a tick off my dog. And part of it is because I'm more proactive about it, okay? I take care of my yard. I make sure that it's clean. I take care of my dogs. So what you can do is, if you want to use apple cider vinegar, you can use it multiple different ways as a flea and tick med. Like I said, you can put it in the water, basically you want to use one teaspoon for every 15 pounds or so. Don't go too crazy again. Again, if you question it at all, go lower. Okay, don't go, oh, I'm gonna give my dog more, it's not always the best. You can hurt your dog a little bit, So the other nice thing with apple cider vinegar is it helps regulate blood sugar and your sugar levels, and it reduces toxic bacteria in their stomachs, which allows for better gut health. It helps with urinary tract infections, okay? So if you have a female dog and she's having issues, or you can use it towards helping a urinary tract infection. The other nice thing with apple cider vinegar that I learned not too long ago, that I actually was kind of surprised, because I've known about apple cider vinegar for a while now, but I actually was reading an article, and the apple cider vinegar is actually great for your mind. It helps from deteriorating, and so it keeps your dog's mind sharp and clean. So good for an old dog, or, again, be proactive. Give it to your young dogs, and that way they don't have to suffer later on in life. As far as these treats, they're a great dental treat, because they're going to be, when we cook them, they're going to be hard. So part of it, how it works is basically, as they're chewing on it, it's scraping tartar and stuff off their teeth. But the other nice thing about this too is I'm adding peppermint and I'm adding parsley. Okay, so peppermint and parsley actually share quite a bit of the same things as far as what it's going to do for your dog. Okay, so peppermint and parsley, when you're looking for parsley as well, try to use curly parsley. There's two different types of parsley. There's a curly parsley, and then there's Italian parsley, which is Italian parsley is what we tend to use. If you buy parsley in the store, it's Italian parsley. but you can find also Curley parsley, okay, which is a little better for your dogs. And parsley and peppermint, they both help with inflammation. It's a nice additive for the inflammation in their bodies. It helps with a lot of vitamins and minerals that you find in parsley and peppermint. The vitamin K improves good blood clotting. It allows for better liver health, so helps with the digestion a bit. So if your dog has digestive issues, things like that, so it helps there. The other thing too is they both boost the immune system. A better immune system, your dog's going to be a lot healthier. They're not gonna get sick. They're gonna fight off things. Like if they happen to get something, it's gonna help fight it off. They both also flush out toxins. I use peppermint a lot in detoxing methods. What peppermint does is it cleans out all the toxins in our stomach, in our intestines, and it flushes it all right out. The other nice thing about both of them is they reduce tumors, okay? The main reason I add parsley and peppermint to this recipe as a dental treat is because both of them are great for cleaning the breath. So if your dog has bad breath, these are great. The peppermint and the parsley helps kill those bacterias, and that's what eliminates the bad breath from our dogs. So those are the things that we have in this, and those are the reasons why I put them in there. So I've got 2 trays here, basically filled, and as you can see, I get 2 nice trays, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to throw this in our oven, and we're going to bake these for 45 minutes at 350 degrees. After about 25 minutes, I'm going to come over, and I'm going to take and flip all my cookies over. But I'm going to throw these in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. So I'm going to see you all in 45 minutes. Okay, welcome back. Well, your cookies should be done. And as you can see, I got some nice cookies there for my puppies. They should have a nice good brown color to them. If you want to make them a little bit harder, what you can do is you can actually leave them in your stove overnight. So these cookies are good for a good amount of time. You can throw these in a jar, a cookie jar. If you get a dog jar, they'll last a couple weeks. You can also take them, put them in your fridge. I kind of split my batches in half. You can throw them in the freezer as well. They'll last months in the freezer. And you can do that and take them out as you need them. And so I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope your dogs enjoy their dental treats. And if there's anything you guys want to see in the future, feel free, go down below and make some comments. Make some comments on anything that you would like to hear from me. Anything else, any questions or anything like that. I will be putting the recipe down below for you all. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Smash that like button down below and subscribe. There'll be more content coming. Definitely some more dog treats, some more dog foods, and other natural medicines that we can have. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you next time.